Hello and welcome back. I'm Joe, and this is Workers and Resources Soviet Republic Season X, the Peninsula Island Challenge. We have the city up and running, and now it's time for the first industry. Here are the stats, in case you're curious. Our happiness is dropping a little bit from a couple things. I guess crime is starting to creep in, which is a little bit surprising, but I'm not going to address that yet because the whole crime and justice building chain is rather expensive, so I hope that we will get by with what we have right now. I don't think 2 doctors is actually the right number that I want anymore, and here, university is done. We have to start our research. What should our first research be? If you go back a couple days and watch the best industry video, you will know exactly what I'm going for, which is nuclear science faculty. It is by far the fastest money maker that's out there. It's not the best investment to return, but in with one industry, with one thing just running, I can make the most money. So I'm going to concentrate on nuclear science from here on out, and hopefully everything else that we build will be able to sustain us long enough. I do know for a fact that we could just run research right now with the money that we have and would get by just fine, but that would mean we're going to wait about a year and a half now. A year and a half. If you don't know what research you have to do, go down here to the scientist and look at what is there to research, and you see all of these different thingamabobs. And if you want to go vehicle route, you have to research pretty much everything here up to the road vehicle. Make sure that you get the metallurgy, steel, material fatigue study, and then back to advanced engineering, and that's all great. But that is not what I want to do. I would like to get to nuclear science and then in here. And it looks like we need geology before we can get to uranium technologies and get all the way up here to nuclear fuel. That is our goal. That's our research chain that we're going to go down, hopefully relatively soon. Right now, we don't have any extra workers, which is not the end of the world because we don't need any extra workers. And as you can see, anything that we have overflowing will go here. And here's an actual interesting mechanic that I want to mention really quick. Workers will choose to go to places, all citizens, workers and passengers alike, will choose to go to places that are in walking range first. If they can't find something, they will go to a bus stop, this one, and then they will look from the bus stop again if nobody picks them up within that hour of waiting, which means we will only get the overflow people go to the fire station. That may be a good or a bad thing. Right now, it looks okay, and as long as we keep an eye on all our numbers everywhere, we should be okay, but yeah, just keep an eye out. I don't like this, students waiting for professors, but it is what it is. I'm going to actually increase the number of professors here a little bit so we can get our research done, but also get a little bit of education happening. I will actually invest just a little bit. Give me a couple higher level immigrants. Let's do this many, and then give me a couple dollars worth of NATO people, because our school is by no means overflowing, so we should be able to get a couple extra people out of our dollars that we otherwise don't do anything with. So that looks great. Cool. I'm ready. Let's do the first industry while we're waiting for nuclear industries to get done. And as you can see, yeah, 19%, this is perfect. But due to low education, if we can get those leveled up relatively soon before our industries are ready, that's all free workers. So I'm kind of excited to see what happens there. What do we have going on here? 7, make this 10, and maybe increase the... No, we don't have to increase this. This still looks fine. Government loyalty, we don't have to do anything with just yet. Because... well, we can't really do much with loyalty because the only thing we can really do is keep the loyalty between 35 and 40%, because that's what the monuments do. They don't stack above that or beyond that, so don't get your hopes up. Okay, first industry. A very good industry that you don't require any research for is clothing. And clothing is also something that we can move right away to... well, to replace an import that we have, and it's just overall not a bad place to start researching. We could start with chemistry, chemicals, but that research has to be completed first, and we're already in the year, and I don't want to wait that much longer. So let's get started with clothing, because it's a nice one that we can start with, and we can replace the grain that we need relatively soon without even having workers out there. So let's get started on that. Clothing. Okay, what do we need for clothing? Well, you go down here under miscellaneous, and get your buildings figured out. These are the only two buildings that we need. We will need a little bit of water. That may be a small problem, but chemicals would need the same thing. And there's wastewater and production water, so be aware of that. But our water does only need a water quality of 85%, which we can get from just a pump without any refinement. So that is actually a good thing to have. Then we have the clothing factory here, and the ratio is about 1 fabric factory to 2 clothing factories. But look at the workers. We need 100 workers for this one and 80 workers for this one. Since we need 2 of the clothing factory, that will be 160 workers. Add it up, that's 260 workers. That's a lot, because if you want to keep a shift fully running 100%, you need to multiply that by 3. So almost 750 workers. we don't have that. We may have 100 workers available later on when we get to it. But we're not quite there yet, but I would like to get started on it. And then we just grow it as we, well, move along later on. So here we go. Let's start with a warehouse, because we can literally store everything that we care about in this warehouse. And I would love to get a warehouse that's big enough, but also has a rail connection. I think we only have one. It's this warehouse right here. This one does give us a rail connection, which is probably a good thing. So yeah, I think I would like to build with this one. We are building this construction office over here, in case you're curious. Yeah, where should we put you? This is what I wanted to have this space for, so we can have an easy way to import and export the things that we have. Let's do F2 to see a little more of our landscape, so I don't build on something that's a little silly. And right here doesn't feel like a terrible place. I may regret that later. Okay, let's start building. just a couple things. We just have to plan a few things. So let's get a fabric factory. Right here, honestly, there's no perfect or terrible place for this. I just need a place that can connect to the things that we need to connect to. In this case, it's just a simple factory connection. I kind of like this one. So let's see if I can get you here. We do have a bulldozer somewhere that can help us with terraforming. And let's make sure that we can get a factory connection over here. You do not need forklifts for this. That looks fine. Now, this one will not be able to push any materials out to the clothing factory. So I already don't like that, because having a connection means that we don't have to rely on overflows to get the materials in. It's just a short-term delay, and you can also use a truck to make up for that difference, but I prefer doing it this way. So, okay, let's build you, get another factory connection in, and then, and here's the reason why I did this, then we can put one of the clothing factories right across from you that will have access to the warehouse that will store some of the fabric when we have overflow, and we'll have access to the fabric as it just gets produced here. That's important. And then we still have 3 more sitting down here, and we can fill those up whenever we have time, money can be set up for this. And we're just going to keep this for later. Right now, we would only have to build 2 of these industries, and we should be good to go. Cool. Let's do a little bit of terraforming here so we can get these roads reasonable, I'm going to call it. Get you in here. We do need a... actually, let's do this. I think I like this one good enough. Yes. Yes, probably. Okay, that's fine. And the only thing I'm going to do here is, because we will have a bus driving here and we will have trucks driving here, just make it nice and quick for our vehicles. Quick left control and click selection to get that one taken care of. And then we are we good? Do we have everything that we want? Well, let's see. Build factory connection. There's one more here and one more here. This one really doesn't need any access to anyone dropping anything off, but it would be nice if the warehouse has an extra drop-off zone. Although we really only have to deliver crops to here, but also crops to here. I'm semi-tempted to use one of the cargo stations. This is a really big cargo station with 6 spots. Let's flip you around with a T. I'm tempted to use this one. I don't know that I will, but I'm tempted to use this one. So we're just going to place it here. and I may do something with it down the road. Again, there are these two other factory connections that we have on this side that I would like to connect to, and looking at it now, maybe it makes the most sense to build a bus station on this side so we have walking range to this direction. I think I like that a lot. So, okay, bus stop. Let's build a bus stop. This can be a full-on bus stop that will just go right next to you. And again, this is just so we have the walking connection to everything that we would care about. This looks fine. This looks fine. Let's get all of this started so the roads can actually get built, and tell you that all of these are allowed to get built. And then, yeah, we're just going to start with the fabric factory, I think. But this is fine. You can now play this out a little further and say, okay, I also would like, well, other materials or other buildings built here. So what could fit here still? We could add a food factory because that also requires just crops, and we could do alcohol there as well. Both are not terrible to have. It's just the number of workers that we currently have available is not really inviting to that kind of behavior. You guys, okay. You're already being backed up here just a little bit. I don't love that. Oh, and these buses, they're still semi-blocked because they have to go all the way out to this bus platform out here to find a couple workers to actually pick someone up, but I think we can fix all that later. Winter is just about to be over, so that should be good for us in the near future. It looks like we have a bunch of professors sitting there, but yeah, happiness is still going down. Happiness change is going the wrong direction. Booze is a problem. Unable to get clothes is interesting because we do have clothes there, but I think there may have been an overload in shoppers here for just a short period of time, so let's make sure that that is not going to be another problem. 72% is not perfect. Keep an eye out on as many things as you can when you play. There's always going to be something that you will probably miss, but that is probably okay. I think I will get this bus back on the road because foreign workers aren't that expensive, and as long as I can't put a free construction office right here somewhere to pick up the workers when they actually show up, there's not a lot of good reason to keep it, to have these buses make that long of a trip to not do anything in this case. So, okay. Yeah, the roads will get set up. Let's get the other things that we will definitely need here. We will need a well, a water well. And you want to build a small water well because the large water well is going to require workers, which we don't want to waste on this right now. 94% is more than enough for production, but it's not enough for consumption. So you can't do water. It's just not drinking water. Your citizens will not drink it. They're a little snobby, but that's just the way it is. So that one can go here. We could potentially rely on the height difference. Let's see here. What is our height when we sit there? 17 meters versus 8 meters. It may be enough to just flow water from there, but I don't think that will be sufficient. So what I'm going to do is give myself a water pump. I'm just going to start with a big one because all the small ones are generally not super useful. And this water pump should be able to get at least water moved to the clothing factory that we have here. And then we have to do something with the sewage. Okay, we'll figure that out. Let's get the first pipe going, or should we use a truck to move this around? I don't want to use a truck for this. Let's get a pipe in there. F3 or underground view over here will get you in this view. And then we're just going to use, do we need a small one or a big one? Let's see, how much water do we actually have to use for Fabric Factory? We need 11 cubic meters of water per day. That translates to the smallest pipe because this one can do 26. So that's perfect. And it's also nice and cheap, which is what we want. 200 meters, 177 meters. I think I like this one a little better. It should be just a tiny bit shorter if you allow yourself to make, well, direction changes like that. That looks good. F3 again to get out of this view, and let's activate all of this stuff so they can get started on that once this piece of road is done. Very good. 649,000. That is not a ton of money, but it should probably get us through what we need to do here. These guys are just waiting on a couple of workers, which should mean, are you assigned to this one? You are assigned to that one. Mormon's construction office, you are assigned to this one as well, but oh, you still need steel and board. Okay, one of the optimizations that did happen, that was supposed to happen, is not send buses until the materials are there. And as you just saw, once the materials all showed up, the bus is actually moving. So that is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. There are a couple more things here, looking at the numbers. We actually educated a couple people. That's amazing. How are our escapes looking? If we look at everything, no escapes. So all the NATO people that we invited are turning into productive members of society, which is awesome and amazing and super good for us. We don't have a lot of students waiting for professors. That's also a good thing. And the first research level is almost done, which is lovely, which is just lovely. Okay, let's continue here. We have a waterfront right here, and there is almost no good reason. Let's see here, where should I put this? There's almost no good reason to not just build a sewage line that runs here, because the sewage building is not that expensive. Just costs 4.2 tons of steel, 13 tons of brick. And then for the sewage pipes, they're also not super expensive. So I'm very tempted to just get something set up for right down here. I have to turn it around. And this can get a little finicky because the game on a lot of maps does not make it very easy to get your sewage discharge placed. And then on this map, because I was silly, I put bricks everywhere. That makes it really hard to terraform everything. So just give this a second, or use a nuclear bulldozer, which you may already have in your repertoire of mods. And this will go a little faster, or you can use a lot of excavators. Speaking of which, I can see that the next construction office is done, but I'm not quite... I would like to get this done first before I move anything around. There we go. Got it. Took forever, but it's done anyways, and that's all we needed. Let's extend out our rail just a little further so we don't accidentally do something silly here. There you go, and there you go. It's absolutely probably a good idea to connect this warehouse at some point here relatively soon to make sure that I don't overbuild that with something. And yeah, let's get this one planned. And then let's get a quick footpath connected to this. Too steep of an incline. When you see this, don't despair, because there's a simple trick in this game. If the long path is too much, try shorter bits every time. Because the shorter bits may not be the direct path right away, but you should be able to at least build the path and then get to where you want to go. Railway crossings are allowed. There was a problem briefly, but this is as far as we wanted to go. And I'm actually highly considering getting a road access from this side to this part of the pond. I'm not really 100% sure what I want to do with that yet, but it is something that we could do. A problem with footpaths like this is that once you've built them, you cannot put a road crossing through it. So I much rather build this so then I can get... So we just do a dirt road for right now. I don't want to really remove that. I don't want to remove any of this stuff. We could pretend... Oh, I like this. We could pretend that this will be a triangular junction and could turn into a roundabout at some point too. But for right now, I just need a road connection here so we can actually get this built. That looks good. So let's get that assigned. Construction office crew. Get on this, and that reminds me I can move this stuff around. Good. Cool. How do you move your construction vehicles around? Oh, that's simple. All you have to do is say change workplace depot for all vehicles. There you go. It may take them a little while to get their butts over here, but give it a little bit of time and then they will figure out what you wanted them to do and they will all go and do the right thing. Do we have some here? Yes, we have some here. And if they're currently at a construction site for some reason, they will start moving around. I'm going to leave this guy out here because it's the closest to something that we care about very dearly. But everything else can get moved so we can start removing these construction offices one by one so we can start placing them somewhere else. How are you doing? Okay, that's good. That's good. This looks like you are good. You should be good. And you should be good. It won't allow you to destroy them if there's anything in there that you care about, so don't worry about doing anything silly like that. But that looks good. Let's get rid of a couple roads here. And now we have this whole import section area freed up for other things. What are those other things that we need? I have no idea. But at some point we can probably figure that out together. If you accidentally do this, where you get a piece of road that decided that it wants to be demolished now, you can just undo it with that button right there, and life is good. Cool. So you're assigned, you have most of the vehicles that we wanted. This one does have fuel available within the office, but we would need a well, a substation somewhere nearby that we can actually take fuel to the construction office, which we don't have yet, but I may make that a thing here relatively soon because this fuel station is a little too far away right now. Okay, with that in mind, get another free gas station just across from the construction office because that should help. Make a road connection and get our fuel distribution office assigned to that guy. Very nice. How are our unemployments? 37 people. I think that's telling me that we can probably start inviting a few more NATO people, unless we're starting to run out of space. No, we're not. Let's get 20 more. They have to do something, right? At some point, something has to happen with them. Let's get this road path connected right here. And now, our construction crew on number 1, as you can tell, no longer... well, has one more construction office, which is the one out here, but we also need the big one assigned to it as well. And then construction crew 1, please go here to get all your things done. But you may notice that this construction office has all the vehicles parked. That is because nothing is assigned right now. So let's change that. Let's get... well, we're going to go to the customs house first, and then we're going to assign all the individual pieces that we can. And... I think that's good. I think I want this one assigned right now, but then we're going to start moving the buses around in just right now. Yes. Okay, give me a free construction office out here and get the bus. Get it just right next to the bus stop. Again, the best place for most buildings is next to the source. That's where you want to be. And I do know that the entrance... I would really like to fit you in here, and I can. I saw a green little speck. Sometimes you just gotta wiggle it a little bit. There we go. I don't think I want this to be a gravel road. I just need it to be a dirt road. And I know that the entrance is on this side. So the best place for all transportation things is always, and let's do double click on that and double click on that, is always right next to the source. So that's what we're doing here, which should mean once they do find some workers available there, they will just jump on the opportunity and hopefully get someone to go to work. There are only 4 workers sitting here right now, so okay, I'm gonna take one thing back. This guy can come back here, and I will just make sure that this one is assigned to this group right now, which it is, and we see that there's 94 workers sitting there right now, so that should all be good. And we have one bus now taking the foreigners and one bus taking these guys, which then makes me think, okay, that's good. What are you? You are my bus stop to and from guy. I would like you to just park here and tell our construction office to actually go straight to the source, because if it's just one bus moving, there's no reason to use 2 buses and increase the wear and tear on them for that time. So that should all be good. Construction office crew 2, this is still for buses. We're just going to get that one a special assignment, and hopefully they can help us with a couple of the construction things that are going on here. There you go. Get all of that assigned. Looks good. We do need this warehouse connected to something, so let's get that one planned out here as well. Construction office 1, you should be able to just take care of that. Yes, that looks good. We're not starting the clothing factory just yet, but look how cheap stuff actually is. This is almost filled up with everything that we need. The only thing we need is just some bricks and some steel, and then we're already good, and it cost us a few thousand ruble and nothing more, which is honestly probably pretty good. I will increase the... should I increase? No, I don't think I want to increase anything yet. Happiness is still not where I want it to be. Booze is still a problem. Church is a small problem. We could start building another place for culture, but I don't think that I want that yet. Our average lifespan is not as high as I want it, and sport enjoyment is way too low. Way too low. I don't like that at all. I wonder... Yeah, 38%. It should be in the 90s. Huh. Alright. Stork a heart attack. Okay, there's a couple issues there. Global pandemic. Yep, that's going to hurt you a little bit. 11%. But I think we're okay. No, I don't think I have to overreact and do anything there right now. But it will become a thing in the near future. This is a bigger issue. Let's get a couple more foreigners. But we do need to get started on the next construction site here, on the next residential building. Because once... For population, you will go through ebbs and flows. It will just go up and down, and you get a big wave and then you won't get anything. Get a big wave and you won't get anything. That also means your kindergarten goes through waves at a time, and you just have to prepare for that. So right now it looks like we're okay, but we really only have 53 spaces, and if just 10% of the population has some kids, we're already going to be out of that space. So I want to make sure that we have at least a little more room available for them before they get too far. So that should work out. We have a couple extra bricks sitting here, 10 tons to be exact. I don't love that, but we need a lot of bricks on this construction site in just a second. So that truck should be able to do what it's supposed to do very quickly. Okay, power. Let's do power next. Got it. There we go. Electricity. For industrial complexes, you generally do not need to supply heat, so you don't have to worry about that. Is there a time and place where we could get construction office and here? No, we cannot. However, this electric substation is already set up in a way that I can do something that I haven't been able to do before, unless they don't do that. Let's try it out, because I am all for trying things out, even though I should know better. I do highly recommend that in general, if you're not sure about something, that you just build a sandbox game and then try it out. But I think I have enough capacity and money that I can actually try this out this way, which is building the electric substation here and using it as an extender for well, the power that we're going to just route down here. And you'll see what I mean by that in just a second. Get that one enabled, that one enabled, not this one enabled. Okay, that was close. I should just click on the individual items, but here you go. Just run the power line right through the middle there, or I'm gonna run it closer to the existing big pylon and then switch the side of the road, because I have a feeling this might turn into a roundabout at some point, and I don't want to ruin that just yet. So there we go. Run this one right here. That looks great, and then we just extend it. And the question is, actually, okay, it may look better from this side. The question is, can we extend power this way, or is that not a thing? And I don't have a full answer for that, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. Get all of this assigned. Tell construction crews to get on this. Yep, that looks good, that looks good. That one can get assigned right away, and let's get the bus construction office that we have up here to also do something useful. I like it. Okay, let's plan a little bit of rail, because if we want to make this work, we do need to plan on that. It is potentially good enough to build a rail connection right here, but that may not be advantageous for everything that we want to do. And that actually reminds me of something that I should have planned on 2 seconds ago before these guys started building that road, which is we're probably going to run fuel trains for a while. Maybe not, but fuel trains are a little cheaper, but they do require you to actually supply fuel for that area. And I don't... yeah. The best place for a fuel train to actually put fuel is to put a fuel station where the trains drive a lot. And where would the trains drive a lot? Near the customs house. They will always go here. So what we're going to do is actually place a fuel station for rail right in between. And this is just planning ahead. It's not super important right now. Train diesel station. There's a single one. Oh, that's new. But we're gonna build a double one. How much are you? You are not too expensive, not too cheap, so it is fine. If I put you all the way to the end here, I would love it if I can put you somewhere closer to here, where a train does not need to block the next train from going in. Refueling doesn't take that long, but it takes long enough where I want to consider this. So we already have we already have a power connection right there, a power substation. So maybe I can put this refueling station right here. Yes, I can. Let's put it somewhere where the rail line can actually run a natural path. Let's do this. Get our concrete rail out, and no, that wasn't it. But this one should be fine, which also means we can get these all connected back to where they were. This is completely necessary. No, absolutely not. But I do recommend to do a little bit of planning if you can ahead of time, because that should alleviate some headaches later on. I'm taking this back just a little further than where we were, because I didn't like the kinks in the rail, and we have a little bit of time right now, so we may as well do it right. Hit you again, nice and relatively straight, because there is a footpath already. We can't do a lot of terraforming, but this should be fine. And here's the reason why I wanted to put the fuel station not too far away. I wanted to be able to make this connection in a place where our trains are forced to connect or to go through a fuel station. That's all. We could go right here. Don't think that's the end of the world. And now we have access to the border, obviously. But you need to make sure that you have access to both sides. So I think we're just going to do a simple crossing here that gives us some room for this fuel station to not block everyone. And then we kind of want the same thing going the other way too, on both sides, because this potentially eventually will get us some grain input that we absolutely need once we get to the right volumes. But this all feels good. Let's get that assigned so we don't have to worry about that anymore. And now the power connections that we already built should probably just function the way that that we hoped they would. Okay, get all those connected, this one going. We have 7% unemployment. Look at the NATO people just burning through the education. That is perfect, exactly what we need to see. So keep that one moving, and we're probably going to invest more of our NATO money in those people. Let's check our escapes again. No escapes yet. 30 immigrants, 20 births for... Nope, no escapes for the whole time. That's perfect. And as you can see, we're already growing our population quite a bit, which is excellent. I would like to see... Oh, we have full professors. That's really, really good. Happiness is not quite where I want it to be. We could increase it by 5% if we just provide some alcohol. That is an option that I want to consider relatively soon. Just not quite yet if I don't absolutely have to. But there's our industry. That's going to be done very soon. So, yeah. These guys can just do what they need to do, and now we can look at things. What would we like to do? I think this warehouse is probably relatively full, which makes me actually think I would like to up this one. That's the meat stop. I would actually like to get a little bit of pathing done. And this may sound crazy. I should have done this beforehand, but we're here now, so let's see what happens. And we had a couple trucks that weren't doing anything here, so it should technically go by relatively fast, especially since it's gravel. I don't expect this one to run out of meat anytime soon, and that's really all we have to worry about here. It's probably not the best recommendation, but it should be fine. But we already have part of research close to done, which is exciting. Okay, should we plan the next industry zone? Well, no, but yes. We do have to plan what we're going to do with the heating plant once we're actually at a size that this heating plant no longer can supply. What is that size? About 1,500. So we have to go somewhere where that is not going to be a problem. We also need to think about trash, but I think this space right here is actually perfect for any trash behavior that we may have to contend with. So I don't think that will actually cause any issues for us. What's your waste? Bio waste, burnable waste, other waste, and ash. So yeah, there's no crazy waste going in there, and it's mostly just this stuff. We don't have to separate it out like the hazardous waste that we have sitting over here. So that is all pretty good. 36 people due to a small child. Okay, that means our kindergarten sometimes is slightly overflowing. Let's see, I would like maybe 7. Just increase it by 1, and hopefully it's good enough. We still need something here. There's always going to be something you will forget. I will forget. We will forget, which is a water substation. We have water that comes in, but that is just for... come on. Give me a place where I can actually do this. That is just for... I want to make sure that this one's actually assigned. That water is just for producing the fabric. It's not for drinking. We talked about that earlier. So we need another technical service that ideally delivers drinking stuff down there. I would guess this one is not assigned yet, which is very important because we want to get that sewage somewhere. And then we don't need a sewage truck actually to do anything here. We can handle that with a sewage switch, which we can place pretty much anywhere we want as long as it's lower. This one does not give us the height of the terrain right now. So go to Terrain Tools, click on Tool for Measurements, leave this window open, very important, and then go back to the switch and see. This switch should be at about 10 meters. I just have to look up here, sadly. It's about 9 meters. So we have to find a place that is lower than that to place the switch to actually receive any of our sewage. 7.8 meters. I guess this is as good as any. If you don't like the options, press F2 and see if you can dig a little hole somewhere. And I'm going to go with the little hole because I don't want to... well, I don't want to lay more pipe than is absolutely necessary. Let's go here. I want to see what the height over here is. We're at about 8 meters. So if I see 7 meters here, that should be good enough for our sewage. There's a sewage switch. Very good. Put you right in there. Then let's get a small sewage pipe connected from here. Easy enough. F3 so we can actually see what goes on underneath. And then we need a sewage tank. Ideally, this one covers the same area as the water tank that we built. So I'm going to build that relatively close to that water tank. Well, let's just collect that sewage and let it run down the drain. Cool. I would guess... Oh, well, I don't think the water... Let me think out loud here. Food does require water, but does not have sewage. Alcohol requires water, but does not have sewage. So there's nothing in this area that will require a lot of sewage to flow. So what we're going to do is just use the medium pipe, not the largest pipe, to connect this guy to the pipes over here. Make it 370 meters. Sure, that's fine. This could also be another switch so we can actually use it. I don't mind that. I just don't know that we have a height that will make this possible. But let's see what we can do here. If we can lower this again, we got to get to about 6 meters. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Put a little hole here. Put a little dent in the ground. And see what happens. F3 so we can actually see something. Is this the most fun thing to do? No, but sometimes it's just necessary, and we could also do this on that side because you can't actually do the digging everywhere because once the sidings are too steep, the game's just like, you know what? You really shouldn't do that. But 6.75 meters, that should be more than sufficient. Let's make this a large piece of pipe. F3 again so we can see. A large pipe, and then we're just going to feed a medium pipe in from the side. No, from the side. There you go. From the side, from right there. And then we have sewage taken care of there. And we could start connecting the sewage from our city, and then sewage becomes absolutely free because we're just going to dump it in this place, which is how the game wants you to play. Footpath. Yes. Get me something that gets us in here. The bus path is there. All those things are connected. Nice. Get the construction office on this. Do we want to build sewage right away? We can. So the first industry is done. Great. It cost us less than 50,000 to build that, which is honestly a really, really good deal. Now let's do the second one, and let's do the warehouse too while we're at it, because we already have these factory connections done, so we can start bringing in Sorry, I'm trying to turn off all these overlays. That we can try to bring in our grain and such. So let's see here. We need a couple more. No, we don't need anything for that. But you guys can work on this. There's a new train available. Isn't that wonderful? Yes. How are we doing in other matters? 6%. We have 600 people. They're mostly employed, but most of them are probably just in university and doing their thing there. No sporting problems as far as I can tell. Sport enjoyment is at 43%. Still feels low, but okay. Government loyalty is good. Culture enjoyment is relatively low. That's a little crazy to me, but I'm just going to leave it. Our new brick building is already done. That is awesome because it tells me all our production and building construction type things are moving as fast as I need them to move. That is a good thing. Trust me. Let's get this one out here. And also connect it because at some point we're probably going to want to build this. And I don't want to forget that when I put another piece of rail there that I didn't mean to put. Yes. So, yes, sewage is coming in, water is coming in. So those are the things that we need to concentrate on right now. And once those are done, we do need some type of footpath connection here. Let's do that. There you go. Construction office 1 and 2. Do your thing, and life should be relatively good. I like it. Okay. These, and these, and these, and these. All right. They can work on those things. So now we can prettify a little bit. How do you prettify? You go down to your terrain tools. Sorry, trees and accessories. And then you have decorative pavement over here. We have some airplane road that's just gray. We have some gravel road that's just gray. And then we have some asphalt road that's... all of them have these little squares that are just black. I think we're going to use some gravel road around some of our buildings. For example, how often... Okay, this is going to be interesting because, what is it? X and C move the camera, and the camera determines what your angle is supposed to look like. As you can see, we're clipping out a little bit on this side, which is a little unfortunate, but we're just going to do this in a couple different blocks. One is that, and then we're going to try to lay over this again and run within that footpath area right there, which is just not straight enough compared to this thing. I don't like it. I would love to just run in parallel with this bus station. There we go. This is what I wanted. Now we made this look like it may belong together a little more than it did before. Can I get this one filled in? Yes, I can. So just a little gray. Add some color to your areas. And then what else do we have? We have a nice little courtyard of the university here. Obviously it has to be nice and asphalt. I'm not opposed to turning this one into a gravel road yet, so let's get someone on this. What else do we have? The local pool doesn't really have a lot of stuff going on, but for the children, what can the children have? I think a little bit of asphalt road for the children is not a terrible thing to do. Don't want to go that far out, so this one should be fine. And get that one filled in just a little bit. And as you can see, it actually fills in areas around the building as well, which I think can make things look nice every once in a while. Okay. Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to do this. I'm not overly doing this, I'm just going to do that just for a little bit. Looks like that one's still fine, and this one is still fine, so I should be able to get this one graveled up, and probably this one graveled up at the same time. What are our gravel truck situations right now? Because... Oh, you're coming here. Interesting. Alright. We don't have gravel trucks available right now, so I'm not going to add any more of that for the time being. How's this going? We have some water there. Do you have power? You have everything you need. You have a little bit connected. Do we have... Yes, we do have well, not a road connection, but a connection to the pipe here. I'm a little surprised that this one's building without power supply. I don't like that. Okay, I answered my question. The question earlier was, can this thing do what I want it to do? The answer is no, it cannot. So, all right. That's sad. I don't like it, but it is what it is. So now we need to do the next thing, the first demolition office. So let's get that one going. Down here, under construction industry, you have to talk to your demolition office, and the demolition office there's a free one, because well, there should be one. You need one, in case you try something out and it didn't work. We're going to get that one just right here, I think. It's just going to replace one of our initial construction offices, and that looks good. What it needs is an excavator, a bus, and a dump truck. Do we want to spend money on that right now? Or do I want to go back to what was happening here? No, I do not want to go back to what was happening here, because it's just normal learning. And not everything in this game makes perfect sense or is logical. It just sometimes is the way that it's built, and that's just the way it is. So get over it, I guess is what I'm going to say there. But it will be helpful to have an excavator, it will be helpful to have a small bus, and it will be helpful to have a dumper. Let's find a dumper quick. Where are my dumper? Purchase road vehicles. Yes. What do I need? Open haul. There we go. The garbage container truck. That's what we needed. And then get everything assigned to here, besides, of course, workers. Workers can come from out here when we really feel like it. The range can be as far as we want, but we need to remove a little bit of these power lines. So let's do that. Cancel wires on this end. Nope, that's the wrong one. This guy. Let's just do... Yeah, let's do these three, and we're going to do these two. And the construction office should start right away once it gets the job done. Come on. Assign new demolition. Yes. I would like you to do this one, and this one. And it should tell you what it can and can't do. It looks like it has everything that it needs. It's just going to pick up a couple workers. That's fine. Electricity problem, I'm assuming that is for some of these buildings, but that is fine. And while they are demolishing this stuff, we can build the infrastructure that's needed to actually expand this, which is very simply medium voltage switch. Do I want the big one? Is it super expensive? It's double the steel, but it will allow me to get any connections out of this that we want for later on if there are other issues that we need to address. So this sounds fine. Get that one built. Construction office 1. That's your job. Just go do it. How are we doing here? 19. And we're starting to dwindle down the NATO workers that we invited already, and our buildings are actually filling up. That's really, really, really good, because these are all free workers. So we're just going to start on the next residential building. Research program finished. Awesome. Let's get on the next one. Okay, I have to triple check what the next one was in our nuclear production line, and it will be we want uranium mining techniques, but we need the geology first. So let's get geology going. It's that one, and then after that we can, well, go through all the other ones. Geology, what do you need? You have 1500 workdays. Okay, I think that's what the first one did as well, right? Doesn't tell me anymore. There we go, 1700 workdays. So we should be able to get this one done in a couple months at most. We can probably even think about increasing our professor numbers, but we don't have to. That's the beauty. You have choices. How's it going over here? You are actually demolishing this. Oh, beautiful. 1 workday left. Go a little faster, 1 workday. There we go. Now there's a little bit of waste on here, and you have to move that waste around with your dump trucks, or with the waste truck. And I think that's what this guy is doing right now. Yeah, I got a little bit of mixed waste sitting there, and there's more because you can only put one type of waste in a container. You cannot mix them, and some of this cargo is actually worth some money. Once you have metal scrap, that will be worth some money. Mixed waste is not going to be worth any money. But cool, nothing goes to waste. Just waste it a little bit. Okay, so this is fine. Our sewage output is already done, and life is going really good enough. Obviously, we need power here for this one to actually turn on. We need the water to actually be connected here, but we're not that far away from actually turning this thing on. And we only need a water truck in that area, and we already have a water truck right here, so they will be able to just drop off for the workforce that's going to be out here. So yeah, we don't actually need anything extra for this area once power is turned on. which should only be a matter of time. Looks like this one actually is disconnected already, so let's do this one quick, and then you don't need that. You can get the smallest, tiniest power line right here. And then here, we would like this to connect there, but right now this one still has other things connected to it. There you go, it's still red. It says 0.4 tons of other waste sitting there, and I think, is that our truck? I hope that's our truck. There we go. There's our truck. Gonna pick it up from right here. And that construction zone, once the truck leaves, goes away. And now we can connect the rest, and that should give us all the power that one would require. Earthquake. Perfect. Why not? It is barely 1.5 years in, and we have an earthquake of magnitude what? We don't have that many. Well, we have 28 workers here actually right now. That's awesome. What was it? Buildings on fire. Yeah, that's fine. Give me the earthquake report. That's what I wanted. 6.3. Oh, amazing. That's super. One fire extinguished. I'm assuming this one will get extinguished very soon too, because we do have enough workers and we have a fire station that's actually able to cover everything that we care about. There we go. 11 workers is enough to actually suppress this fire, and everyone else is relatively happy. But I do think wear and tear, no, just 6%. 6% there, 6% there. Looks like our wear and tear is very close to the year. So the earthquake that we just saw did not have an impact potentially on the wear and tear here. So that's all nice. Just triple checking that we don't have to start repairing anything. But nope, we're good. Get a little bit of excitement in there, because why not? Yeah, let's assign you again, and everyone should be happy there. These guys are doing what they're supposed to do, and Sewage is doing what it's supposed to do. So everything so far is going really well. I don't want to start on rail just yet, because rail is going to get really expensive really, really fast, and we don't want to overdo that too early. So it's relatively slow so far, but in reality, what we're really doing is waiting for research to get done. But while research is getting done, we're setting up a couple other things, which you can see down here. And I think, yeah, the power should become available very soon, and then we can actually start getting some workers out here. How are you guys doing? You could walk there if you wanted to. Is there a shortcut? Yes, I could give you a shortcut right there. Is there a shortcut through here, or did I just make it a little harder for everyone to do anything in this area? We can get there, but we can't. Well, hold on. From there, you don't actually want to. Well, let's do F4 to turn off the snapping. Nope, it doesn't care. That's fine. Let's undo that one, and we'll just make a simple shortcut right out here, so workers have a shorter path to actually get something constructed there. That should be good. Cool. Good. Sewage pipes are being worked on. They usually take a little longer because they also need a lot of concrete. And that is all okay. Our deconstruction office, our demolition office is doing what it's supposed to do. Got a couple of units of material that we're waiting on there. That's all fine. Industries are on the move, and yeah, I think we're good. Again, we're slow right now. I don't want to skip too much. This is very normal in the process. You just want to make sure that everything is fine. People are still unable to drink alcohol. I'm tempted to give them a pub. I'm tempted to at least give them a kiosk. How about that? Okay, infrastructure, residential areas. There we go. We have alcohol. We have this little alcohol kiosk that's not going to allow a lot of traffic. And does it even require workers? Gotta check here. Maximum number of workers, 1. That is generally not a good thing. Also, the amount of alcohol that can be stored there is minuscule. Both of those things are relatively bad. It is a cheap place. 10 for 120 or 5 for 60. They're about the same ratio. I'm tempted to just do the regular pub. We're going to put that. We could put it right next to. Put it next to university. I think this is the right place. We have a couple other locations. I could put you here. You would not be in walking range of everything, but passengers will go to the bus station to actually do this. Honestly, I'm going to put it right here. Why? Because people should only get to go get a beer if they wait for the bus first. That's a rule. So that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna produce a little bit of that because I don't like this happiness. It's falling a little more than I wanted to, and well, we need that productivity to make a little bit of money here in just a second, and I can't wait for that to actually happen. How's this going? 17%. Perfect. That is what I need to see. Something else that's important is look at our statistics and then look at our university educated. The number is going up, and it's going up a lot. And it's not a stair graph. The stair graph is usually an indicator of you just hired some people or you just imported some people. It's actually people that go to university that upgrade their education level, which is perfect, which is what we want to see. So far so good. Only 22 people have no education, so we can get a few more invited. But as you can see, we're running out of spaces here. So this guy has to get built hopefully soon. Looks like our gravel road here is done too. Should I do the next one? 3.2 tons of meat, and we have a bunch of trucks sitting there. Yes, we should. Give me a gravel road. There you go. There's the upgrade. Here is construction office, and we will need some manual workers for that, or manual labor, but that should be okay. Where's this bus? 17 workers actually moving around. Didn't expect to see that, but this is good news. This is yeah, that's helpful. Get these guys working, actually doing their thing. Nope, you're taking them to one of the sewage places. That's okay too. They're also important. What's this one need? You just need a couple workers to actually do something. Concrete and steel is what you need. All right, well, they get it all done. Yes. I think next time we will turn on the industries and we actually will get some money. I would like to do that right now. Okay, can you do it right now? Buildings without power supply, because this one is not built yet. We need that one to be high priority, and then they can actually get it done. Let's get power done, because... Yes? No? I would like to turn these on before the end of the episode, but no. We're going to turn these on next episode, and we're also going to plan our next industry complex. That's going to be a larger one. We're not going to build it right away, but we will need it, and we will plan our heating infrastructure that has to happen. We will have to plan our water infrastructure. That needs to happen. And then we'll obviously advance our research a little more. And then, yeah, we'll see. Something grand has to happen too, but I think that will be enough. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry this was slower, but it's just a normal process of what needs to happen in game, and we had an earthquake and we survived it, so what more do you want? Get the pub done. Thank you very much. See you again next time. Bye-bye.